back, Gyvi Nation. I, of course, am your host, Thriller G-Star. Let's get right into it. Oh my God, is this community just filled with toxicity and so much garbage. I really don't understand how there's this much drama in a community that's so small. Of course, if you're not in the loop and have no idea what I'm talking about, this is probably news to you. But when I'm telling you shit hit the fan, it literally was everywhere. So if you want to be sure you're in the loop, make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on the post notification bell so you never miss a video, and hit the like button so I know you guys want to see more stuff like this, because there's literally drama every other day out of the MLB community. So I was literally chilling, having a normal day when one of the sources of the Gyvi Alert Nation sent me a screenshot of this. And there you have it. It looks like Koogs and Mighty Goat matched up and someone disconnected and gave Mighty the win. Now at first glance I was like, these are my buddies. I know they wouldn't do anything like this. They wouldn't be caught boosting. So I was a little skeptical at first. But the second I left my DMs and started following these tweets, it was everywhere. So I gotta say right off the bat, once I did see it, it looked a little bit bad at first, but even then I thought to myself, maybe they matched up by coincidence. Koogs is already in World Series and he just thought, you know what, let me disconnect. And to be honest, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. But several members of the community took it among themselves to make a mountain out of this molehill and just go to the extreme. So it seems like this was discovered by a member of the community named John Piz, and it looks like he just decided to go through Mighty Goat's game history and find out everyone who played, which honestly, San Diego Studios, I think that's really stupid. Only you should have eyes to that. So when it first broke out, there was a little bit of back and forth, people trying to figure out if they were boosting or if they had purposely matched up or if it was just pure coincidence, which is what I thought. But then I did a little investigating of my own, and it looks as if this John Piz guy, I don't know how you found the time in your day to find this. Like, you're a grown man. I think he's married, may possibly have children. It's perfectly fine to have a family. But why would this be a match? Why would you care? So there were some people who were definitely showing off their opinions and letting it be known that they were upset, but from that came quite a few funny tweets. Like this one from Chessie that says that, look, when you match up with your partner and you know somebody's about to get that World Series banner tonight, which is freaking hilarious. If you don't know, that's Heath Ledger from Brokeback Mountain. It's a very good movie. I suggest you get over the whole, you know, and watch a very good movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger. It's a very good movie. There was an even funnier response from Sax Duder. I actually think that's the look two guys give each other right before they fuck. You do know what this is from, right? Whoosh, right over this idiot's head. Some more funny comments from guys like PBR Warrior. Shameful. Violation of terms and service. You knowingly took PEDs while the rest of us grind. Your influence in community is no longer needed. And I think that's hilarious. You guys know that I'm perfectly fine with PEDs in baseball. I say bring them back. Of course, there were a lot of supporters, people who are also big fans of Mighty Goat and Koogs as well. You know, like this response right here from Ryan. All the people upset by this aren't old enough to have experienced boosting for themselves on MW2. Not a big deal. He's still my dad. Thank you. Amen. Literally, if you've ever played Call of Duty and you ended up in one of those lobbies, it was something special. Now, I'm definitely not going to snitch on myself and say that I've boosted, but I may or may not have come across someone in MLB 17 or 18, and they possibly gave me that one last win I needed to get to World Series. I'm not saying, because I'm not even Gyvi World. I'm Thriller G-Star. What even makes it a little bit more believable that this was just something that happened by coincidence is the fact that if you go through Mighty Goat's gaming history, it's not like he was boosting and just getting a bunch of free W's. It literally was just one out of a huge sample. Looks like they probably came across each other by pure coincidence, and Koogs, who was already in World Series, just quit the game. Look, that's just what friends do. I mean, it's not really breaking terms of service. He just quit the game. Maybe Koogs had to do another DiGiorno delivery pizza commercial or something. I don't know, but he had to leave, and Mighty just happened to get the win. Did it even get him to World Series? No, he's still 47 points short, and Mighty Goat grinded himself and got there and got to World Series. In response to this, both Koogs and Mighty Goats put out a piece. Here's what Koogs had to say. As someone who wants to see the community grow, I recognize that the screenshots that came out reflects poorly on myself as a community leader. I apologize for that, and I accept any backlash that comes my way. As a partner, I am held to a higher standard, and I've always aimed to meet the standard, and I will exhibit that going forward. Couldn't have said it any better. Koogs, we appreciate you. I'm going to be honest. No one who really matters cares. It's not that big of a deal. Mighty Goat put out a similar comment as well. As a content creator in MLB The Show, I understand that I have a lot of influence in the community. The screenshots posted earlier reflect poorly on me. and I completely accept the negative response. From now on, I will be as transparent as possible, so something like this doesn't happen again. Thank you all for the support. Pretty much what we expect from two guys. They're both very good guys. They just made a mistake, if you even want to call it that. I think it was just a coincidence, and we'll soon move from this. No one's gonna care. Those who were closest to Mighty had this to say. Of course, Fofi the Great had this to say, just a gif going psh, like it's no big deal. Fofi, I agree with you. And another user in a now since deleted tweet had said something along the lines of, I can't believe a bunch of grown men are being such soy boys. I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what was said. I did go ahead and reach out to both Mighty and Koogs in the DMs. Mighty and I, we had an understanding. We agreed, you know, probably was something that should have been done, although it's not that big of a deal. But we did have a laugh at the men in their 40s who this is the #1 source of entertainment in their lives. It's pretty sad, not gonna lie. Koogs has not responded, so we'll keep you in the loop if he ever does. Now, of course, as some of you may know, Koogs is a Sony partner. We'll just have to see at this point. We have no word from San Diego Studios. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think they care or have the time to be worried about this. They're working on trying to get a game past launch. It's been less than a month. They're working very hard. This is not that big of an issue, so I don't think they care. Mighty Goat is not a Sony partner. Nothing's going to happen. I don't think there will be any terminations, because that'll just be pretty damn silly. But we'll just have to wait and see if San Diego Studios has anything to say on the matter, and we will keep you in the loop. Speaking of San Diego Studios, we'll transition into our next story for the day. If you guys haven't known, there has been a lot of angry people on Twitter, mainly with the hitting. What's new? Literally every year there's a lot of things that we're complaining about, but I'll be pretty quick with this one. I've got to say this right up front. The game is 10 times better than 18, 1,000 times better than 18, 1,000,000 times better than 18. Do some things need to be fixed? Yes, I think there's still a little bit more rewards for not being nearly as good, and that's because, you know, it's RNG, random number generator. You throw the dice, and it decides yes or no like a conch shell. So that's kind of the issue right now, that we just don't like that. My biggest issue with the hitting at the moment isn't so much that, as much as once you get past All-Star, the game's just not fun. That's the only way I can say it. Playing on Legend and Hall of Fame, like, you can do it, but it just takes you being sweaty and no longer being a fun game. I've never understood changing the difficulty of a game the higher you go up. That's not how most games do it. If you play any other game where there's ranking system, it doesn't get harder to hit your shots in Call of Duty. It doesn't get harder to hit opponents. The players get better, and that's what determines the difficulty in the ranking. That's what normally gets better, not the game itself. The game should be one game, and everything else determined by how good you are. That's pretty much all I'm going to say on the matter. I really wish, I've been saying this for a year, I wish that when it doesn't matter what rating you get, it's even in Battle Royale, it's all-star across the board for everyone, and depending on how good you are, you either get smacked or you don't get smacked. It's that simple. For our next story of the day, this one's actually a couple days old, but I wanted to bring it up. A couple days ago, there was a little bit of backlash, and then once again, a lot of community members getting involved, and pretty much all starting with one tweet. There was a user who seemed pretty upset that the Sony partners, that there were no black partners, that all the partners in the community were white, which honestly, when I first saw it, I didn't care, but then my name was brought up, so I thought about getting involved. I started typing, and I told myself, no. Well, actually, I didn't. Gyvi did. Gyvi World said, no, don't do it, and he did it. Now, speaking on behalf of Gyvi World, I'll just say this briefly. Him not being a Sony partner has nothing to do with the color of his skin. That's just ridiculous to think. There's many reasons. Well, first of all, Ramon's black. I don't know if you guys know this, but the head community manager is black. So let's get that out of the way. Second, Gyvi barely posted last year at all. He is pretty vocal with his mouth and uses words probably that he shouldn't. I don't know, but there's a lot of reasons. The biggest one is I stopped posting after like 2 months of MLB The Show 18, so there's no way I was going to be a San Diego Studios partner. Besides that, or Sony partner. Besides that, I've already been blacklisted by Sony for quite a while. Let's just say we probably just don't get on the best terms. So I think it's ridiculous to say it has anything to do with race. One, there's not that many creators of color who do baseball. One, two, there's some great guys who are doing just great things, and that's why they're Sony partners, and they deserve it, which is perfectly fine. You know, I'm happy for all my friends who are Sony partners and, you know, doing everything they can. They're constantly bringing content, whether it's videos, whether it's streaming. And I think that's another thing as well that I do believe that something to do with San Diego and the color purple. They do lean a little bit heavier towards Twitch than they do YouTube, which may be a factor for other YouTubers who may be bigger if you're looking and saying, why aren't they Sony partners? And you know what? That's a business move. I have nothing to do with that. But that's that. But anyways, Gyvi Nation, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy the news. There was a lot of drama in the community in the last couple days. If there's more drama, I'll be sure to bring you guys up to date. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your post notification bell on and hit the like button. And I'll catch you pieces of shits in the next video. Peace.